lessons created by Microsoft Education. Geared towards the middle school student, lessons can be hacked for younger and older students and adapted for use in remote learning. Created for teachers by teachers, projects are designed to integrate with existing curriculum and are aligned to the next generation science and ISTE standards. These fun, project-based activities help students develop engineering design and computational thinking skills. They also focus on giving learners hands-on experience, collecting and analyzing data. The lesson plans are ready for teachers to use with a package of resources. Using affordable materials and real-world scenarios, Hacking STEM engages students in subjects they are naturally curious about. The free downloadable resources include Excel workbooks, which display the live streaming data in an approachable graphical way. Excel's Data Streamer add-in supports capturing, visualizing, and analyzing real-time sensor data in Excel spreadsheets. By connecting a microcontroller like Arduino to a computer, students can see the results of their interactive experiments in real time. Today, we have a collection of 23 amazing lessons and projects. We have had the honor of partnering with organizations like Mattel Hot Wheels, Lego Education, BBC Learning, and most recently with NASA. Our NASA collection includes a 10-part project analyzing the astronauts' photos of Earth to predict climate change, and a design challenge where students work to solve. Some of our non-digital favorites include creating a lemon battery to power an LED light and creating a transverse wave out of ribbons, sticks, and gumdrops. Over 1 million students and teachers from more than 200 countries have used Hacking STEM materials. Hacking STEM has traveled the world hosting professional development workshops for teachers. Today, we have an active online community of teachers who share ideas, hacks, and a passion for bringing STEM to all students. So visit our extensive lesson library and start hacking your curriculum today.
Let's welcome Mr. Ankur Anand. Sir Ankur, the floor is yours.
Is it looking good, Melvin?
Yes, we can see it now.
Perfect. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. I wanted to start, before I start sharing what is Hacking STEM and how you can engage in STEM, I wanted to tell you a quick story, share a quick story on why we should all invest in STEM education. And that's a story that I've personally seen unfold in the last few years. This is a true story. The man in the picture that you see in the blue shirt, his name is James Burke. He's a teacher. He has been teaching for 19 years. In the first few years of his service, he teaches engineering and electricity and science and STEM in the US near my house. And about 15 years ago, he taught fundamentals of electric circuits in his classroom. It was a really interesting class. He had a student who was really engaged. That student really got excited about circuits and electricity and ended up studying deeply an undergraduate level engineering degree in electrical engineering. So what happened then was, today, his student works at Tesla. 15 years ago, when that student was in Mr. Burke's classroom, Tesla was not invented. The company did not exist. But because of the fundamental skills, because of the STEM education, because he got fundamentals of electricity so early on and he decided to pursue it later, this person got a job in a company that did not exist when he studied electricity. So the science fiction that used to be earlier is becoming a science fact. The world we live in is rapidly changing. There are self-driving cars coming in, there's AR and VR systems coming. We are moving to the moon, they say, and there are smart cities all around us. So the technology around us is rapidly changing. If you see this graph on the left-hand side, you will see that from printing press to the telephone, it took humanity 450 years at the bottom. But in the last 50 years, the change of technology has been super, super fast. And it's going to change and go even faster in the future. So the question for us today is, how do you prepare your students for jobs of tomorrow? How do you prepare students that are in classroom today for jobs that have not been invented yet? research shows that more than 50% of future jobs have not been created. They have not been invented. So how do you prepare students for these jobs that have not been invented? How do you prepare them for technology that has not been created? And how do you prepare them for solving problems that we haven't anticipated? COVID is a good example. So how do you give yourself and your students skills to be able to use the technology, get ready for jobs, and solve future problems? The answer is by giving them hands-on, project-based skills, giving them critical skills like problem solving, collaboration, critical thinking, computational thinking, and data analysis. And that's what my team has been doing. So today, I'm going to share with you 3 programs. The first one is called the Hacking STEM program. The second is called the Day of Data program that we have invented in the last 6 months. This is post-pandemic. This is 100% virtual. And third program is called Farm Beats for Students program. It's about how do you bring artificial intelligence and data science in the context of agriculture and food production, whether you're at school or home, and how you can learn that. What I want to tell you in the beginning is that don't worry about taking notes. Don't worry about taking screenshots. We will share this presentation as a PDF with you later on. I also have a slide towards the end, which is essentially the summary of everything I'm going to say. It's the notes that are ready for you. So if you have to take a screenshot of that slide. For the next 45 minutes, I want you to be engaged and be with me and walk with me through this deck. And then we'll share all the resources with you later on. So the first program that I want to share with you from Microsoft is called the Hacking STEM program. And hack is usually perceived as something negative. Hack your bank account or hack your computer. But hack in the technology world also means something positive. There are a lot of hackathons and a lot of hacks that we do at Microsoft, at Google, at Facebook. And the reason why we do hackathon is, the reason for doing this is because we want to solve problems by using current solutions. So hack is anything that is creative, that solves a meaningful problem, is not a common solution to something. And you're using a previous solution to solve a future problem. And that's why it's called a hack. So the reason it's called Hacking STEM, this program, is because this was created out of Microsoft Hackathon. It was born out of Hackathon. That's the first reason. The other reason it's called Hacking STEM is because we are not trying to change or invent STEM education. We are not trying to, change the curriculum in the classroom. We are not trying to change what you're doing in the classroom. We are trying to hack current curriculum. What it means is we are trying to supplement it, complement it by adding hands-on components to already existing curriculum. And you see this something even more closely than I do at Microsoft, which is there is a revolution in education happening today. We are moving from the 19th century 3 R's, the reading, writing, and arithmetic. The funny thing is only one of them starts with an R, but they're called the 3 R's. And now we are moving to the 21st century 6 C's, or critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, citizenship, and character. These are key skills of the future. The amazing thing is that these skills are not just a theory or a part of a pedagogy or a paper, but these skills also appear in the future job report that World Economic Forum sort of published. So the World Economic Forum usually publishes these skills as what are the top skills required for future jobs or current jobs in 2020. And these 6 C's appear in the top 5 skills. So these are real, these are future skills that students need for these jobs of tomorrow. So how do you prepare your students for future skills? How do you give them these skills that prepare them for future? And the answer to that is in this slide, which says, mastery of core skills leads students to care, which leads to careers. Did you ever think that if you care about something, you usually can make a career out of it? I found it very, very interesting, because if I care about something, I will learn more about it, and then I can make a career in it. Think about it for a minute. Who's teaching young teenage girls how to do makeup? Or who's teaching young boys how to play video games? They care about it. When they care about something, they figure it out. We are in this world of technology. We have so many resources. We have YouTube, we have Khan Academy, and all kinds of video platforms where you can search and find any resource, any information that you need. So if students care about something, they genuinely care about something, they can make a career. And we as caregivers, as educators, as administrators, we need to figure out how can you bring students or deliver an inquiry-based education in the classroom so that students start caring. And all we need to do is teach our students to be curious, teach them about how to ask good questions, teach them about how to relate understanding of one subject to the other subject, and how to exercise patient problem solving. It's a big skill, how to be patient, and how to persist and continue to make efforts and do this again and again and again till you succeed. So these are the skills our students need. And in the process, once we deliver this integrated sort of inquiry-driven curriculum, and we teach students how to do that and care about something, it's very likely that they'll make a career out of it. The other key concept that I want to highlight early on is that we believe that STEM is a smoothie, and we need all 4 vitamins, which is S, T, E, and M: science, technology, engineering, and math. The problems and the challenges that we face every day, they are multidimensional, they are interdisciplinary, and the learning in the classroom needs to reflect that. So the science, technology, engineering, and math need to come together and paint a big picture for our students, because that's how the real world operates. That's the problem that we solve every day, which is interdisciplinary and multidimensional. Sorry. So with that sort of background, we have created this Hacking STEM program that is aligned to the NGSS, ISTE, and Common Core standards. It is designed to deliver design and computational thinking, and it is based on scientific phenomena, which is the hook. Every project, every Hacking STEM project has a hook, which is the scientific phenomena. It's based in the scientific method. It's based in hands-on learning, prototyping, and following the design loop. And all Hacking STEM projects involve collecting data, visualizing data, and then analyzing data. So with that sort of background, the mission of my team, the ambition of my team, is to modernize STEM education to enable every student on the planet to achieve more. And those 2 keywords, modernize and every, are very important to us. They're very close to our heart. The way we are trying to modernize STEM education is, again, not by changing what you are doing in the classroom, but by adding these 4 21st century technical skills to your current curriculum. And those 4 skills are mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, software engineering, and data science. And we do that by situating students in a real world learning experience. So for example, if you're teaching earthquakes as a unit in your classroom, you still teach earthquakes, but students are able to construct a seismograph, get data out of the seismograph, analyze that data, and then think about what kind of buildings do they need to make that are earthquake resistant. So they still learn about earthquakes, but they do that in a hands-on way. And that's how we are trying to modernize STEM education. The way we are trying to reach every student on the planet is by removing or reducing economic barriers. STEM education is getting really expensive. Most of the world cannot afford it. So our goal is to use inexpensive objects, things that are available, accessible, are affordable everywhere in the world. Things like plastic straws or paper cups or sellotape and cardboard and wooden dowels, things that are in our environment, in your grocery store or in your local shop. So no specialized equipment needed. The goal is to think about how can you use materials that cost close to nothing for making STEM projects. With that, I'm going to show you a quick video and then take you on further journey of hacking STEM. This video provides an overview of what is hacking STEM.
Hacking STEM is a collection of STEM lessons created by Microsoft Education. Geared towards the middle school student, lessons can be hacked for younger and older students and adapted for use in remote learning. Created for teachers by teachers, projects are designed to integrate with existing curriculum and are Created for teachers by teachers, projects are designed to integrate with existing curriculum and are aligned to the next generation science and ISTE standards. These fun, project-based activities help students develop engineering design and computational thinking skills. They also focus on giving learners hands-on experience, collecting and analyzing data. The lesson plans are ready for teachers to use with a package of resources. Using affordable materials and real-world scenarios, Hacking STEM engages students in subjects they are naturally curious about. The free downloadable resources include Excel workbooks, which display the live streaming data in an approachable graphical way. Excel's Data Streamer add-in supports capturing, visualizing, and analyzing real-time sensor data in Excel spreadsheets. By connecting a microcontroller like Arduino to a computer, students can see the results of their interactive experiments in real time. Today, we have a collection of 23 amazing lessons and projects. We have had the honor of partnering with organizations like Mattel Hot Wheels, Lego Education, BBC Learning, and most recently with NASA. Our NASA collection includes a 10-part project analyzing the astronauts' photos of Earth to predict climate change, and a design challenge where students work to solve the astronauts' foot pain caused by microgravity. Some of our non-digital favorites include creating a lemon battery to power an LED light and creating a transverse wave out of ribbons, sticks, and gumdrops. Over 1 million students and teachers from more than 200 countries have used Hacking STEM materials. Hacking STEM has traveled the world hosting professional development workshops for teachers. Today, we have an active online community of teachers who share ideas, hacks, and a passion for bringing STEM to all students. So visit our extensive lesson library and start hacking your curriculum today.
Thank you, Melvin. All right, what I was saying is that now I'm going to share with you an example of what a Hacking STEM project is. And this one is one of the most popular Hacking STEM projects. This one is called Building Machines That Emulate Humans. And in this project, students are building a robotic hand out of waste cardboard and some milkshake straws or thick straws. And they're building a sensor glove out of some cereal box and some copper tape and some scotch tape or sellotape. And you know, as you can see, there is a little bit of mechanical engineering in here. There's a little bit of software engineering because they have to code. There's a little bit of mechanical engineering and a lot of data science, as you will see in a second. In the market, if you were to buy this glove, the sensor glove, each of these sensors cost about $20 US. So this glove would cost $100 for 5 fingers. But in the Hacking STEM way, if you make it using the Hacking STEM recipe, each glove can be, each sensor can be made for 20 cents. So the whole glove, instead of the $100 cost, would be for $1. And students will learn how to make sensors on their own. So when you connect this glove to this robotic hand, you're able to control the movement of this robotic hand in the physical world. In addition to that, you're also able to get real-time data in Excel. This is Microsoft Excel. Excel has been a tool for analyzing historic data or static data, but we have designed Excel and added Excel add-in to be able to stream real-time data in Excel. So when students are moving their glove and the physical robotic hand, they're also able to see this real-time data and understanding how much are they bending their hand and extending their hand. And they perform different tasks like holding a round object or holding a square object or writing using a pen and seeing how their hand performs, what fingers play a role for doing a certain task. As I earlier mentioned, we believe that STEM is a smoothie. So this lesson plan called Building Machines That Emulate Human is a smoothie. There's a little bit of science, there's a little bit of technology, engineering, and math. And there's also some applied arts. All of Hacking STEM lesson plans have some art component to it because we believe that it's important. And it's part of the interdisciplinary alignment of the lesson plans. One of the most beautiful things that I've seen because of Hacking STEM is what we call do it twice methodology. So when the first time students are building this robotic hand, they follow the recipe. It's like cooking. When you follow the recipe for the first time, you're cooking. But when you're doing it for the second time, you add your own spice and you add your own flavor. Similarly, these are local students in a middle school. They're all between 10 to 12-year-olds. And they made a robotic hand following our recipe. And then they told their teacher that this hand was great, but it was boring. And they wanted to make a dragon. So these students used their scrap cardboard and the same hacking STEM recipe for the hand to build their own dragon. It's a fully articulated dragon. They went online, they figured out how to make wings, and they're using the same sensor glove that we had designed for controlling the dragon. We call it the do it twice methodology because for the first time, they follow the recipe and get the basic skills of electrical engineering, software engineering, mechanical engineering, and data science. And when they're doing the second time, they're solving problems around them. They're using their creativity to build something of their own. So we have this collection of interdisciplinary lesson plans that are all free. They're on www.aka.ms/hackingstem. As I said, there is a summary slide with all the links, so don't worry about noting it down or taking screenshots. We will give these to you. All these lesson plans are free. They're online. They're written by teachers, for teachers, and they are standards aligned, middle and high school standards aligned. All of these lesson plans have maker activities or hands-on project-based activities in them. All of them also have customized Excel workbooks. These are Excel workbooks that stream real-time data. These lesson plans also come with a shopping list so that you can buy these materials, online or from your local store. We also have a partner called Carolina Biological Supply Company. They're also at the summit, and they can provide you classroom kits or individual kits that come with all parts and pieces to be able to do this in your classroom. So don't hesitate to go on our website and check that out. This is what the portfolio looks like. Along the way, we have had the honor of partnering with amazing organizations like BBC and Hot Wheels and Lego Education, and most recently, we partnered with NASA. All of these are real-time Excel workbooks. Just wanted to give you a screenshot of what it looks like. These are different lesson plans from our portfolio, and we are trying to establish Excel as a tool to support the engineering process by capturing real-time data. One of the biggest findings for us from the get-go has been that hacking STEM or building these hands-on projects, students have no problem doing this. It's actually the educators who need help. And especially educators who have been in the classroom for 10, 15, 20 years. And I have huge respect for educators. Both my parents were educators. So I have huge respect, and they're masters of their craft. They know how to manage the classroom. But it's almost unfair that these educators or teachers never got trained to do hands-on STEM computer science, and now they are being expected to bring this to the classroom. So we have designed these hands-on project-based professional development programs that have been running across the world. And the goal is to do this in a hands-on way and develop confidence and competence of teachers and help them build a professional learning community. One of the things that we have seen change in the post-pandemic world is, the new models are emerging. We don't know how or what the right model is. We are flexing as we go. But one of the things that I've seen some educators and schools do very successfully around the world is being able to provide these hands-on packets or packets of materials to their students. So in the US, sometimes parents are coming on a weekly basis to the school to pick up the supplies, and then they take home, and students are able to do the hands-on projects. In some schools like this one, they packed this box for each student in the school, and this box had all the materials and tools they needed to do hacking STEM, and this was good for the 6 months. So for the 6 months, they had all the supplies to follow all the hacking STEM projects that their teacher was teaching. These are the models that are emerging. We are still learning, but also wanted to share this because we see that hacking STEM globally has been a success because students have got tired of looking at the screens, and the screen fatigue or Zoom fatigue or Teams fatigue is real. And hacking STEM projects gives them a way to do a hands-on activity, whether at home or at school. I have been told that we'll take questions in the end, so I'm going to keep going. The second program that I wanted to share with you is around Day of Data. So when we were doing Hacking STEM and the COVID-19 hit and the pandemic hit, one of the top requests from our educators around the world was, can you build an interactive remote learning lesson plan? Can you build something that doesn't require any parts and pieces? And that's how the Day of Data came into being. We partnered with NASA to develop resources, and these resources give your students an introduction to data and introduction to data visualization in an interactive way through Excel workbooks. I'm going to show you a quick video, and then we are going to jump into one of the activities, and I'll give you a quick demo.
Data is all around us. When we learn to read data, understand data, and get insights from data, we can solve complex problems and answer tough questions. While sometimes the answers to the problems we are trying to solve are hidden, when we learn how to read data and interpret data, we can spot patterns, and this can help us get insights. Powerful tools like Excel empower us to organize, visualize, analyze data. We can uncover insights and use them to make smart decisions, things, strides in space exploration every day by relying on testing and using experimental data. Each piece of data might seem unimportant on its own, but together they make up the foundation of what drives us to the stars. Experience real NASA data with these free interactive activities to inspire our next generation of space explorers. And don't forget to engage in the activity to send your postcard to space, brought to you by our friends from Club for the Future. Join us in celebrating 20 years of humans living and working aboard the International Space Station. Celebrate your Day of Data today.
All right. What I was saying is that there are 3 ways to engage in Day of Data. The first way is to go online, check out the resources on aka.ms/dayofdata, and you'll find that there are 2 types of resources. The first one is called Stage 1, and the second is called Stage 2. Stage 1 is for younger students, elementary school students, age 8 to 12-year-old, and Stage 2 is for slightly older students, which is Introduction to Data Visualization. That's for 10 to 15-year-olds. These are online resources. They are free. Feel free to check it out. I'll also give you a quick demo. The second is Microsoft Stores. They are virtually organizing these data camps, space data camps, especially for teachers around the world. So if you want to learn how to do this in your classroom and also get this certificate of completion from Microsoft, feel free to go to this website, sign up for the camp, and you'll be able to, 1, learn how to do this in the classroom and also earn this certificate from Microsoft. And the last thing is that a few months ago, we organized 3 conversations with astronauts and rocket scientists. These are conversations where students were able to ask questions and interact with these rocket scientists and NASA astronauts. They're all available on demand, or all these videos are online. And again, they're free. So feel free to check out these videos, play these videos in the classroom to inspire your students, because in these videos, the astronauts have shared the role of data in their lives and the role of data for NASA and how they use data in their everyday sort of lives. Now I'm going to give you a very quick demo of what this Day of Data content looks like. So to be able to access this, what you need to do is go to aka.ms. So I'm going to type that for you, aka.ms/dayofdata on top. And when you enter, it takes you to this website. I've already shared this video with you. It's a 90-second overview. And then we come to these 2 activities that I was talking about. This is the Stage 1. It's for 8 to 12-year-olds. It's about introduction to data. Very basic on what is data, what kinds of data exist. And the Stage 2 is around introduction to data visualization. This is for slightly older kids, so age 10 to 15. They're all standards aligned. They all have a video overview, they have a lesson, and they also have some video reflections in here. When you click on Excel workbook and lesson plan, it takes you to the page with an Excel workbook. And what I wanted to clarify is that it doesn't matter whether you have an Excel subscription or Microsoft Office or not. This is all free. So this will just play in the browser. irrespective of whether you have any Office subscription or not, or any Excel license or not. So it's free and it's in browser. This is sort of the what the homepage looks like. And these messages are there. You should ignore them. I'm gonna do that and keep going. The first page is an introduction to the exercise. I'll click next after reading this. This is where we have content or table of contents. And this is where we have how do you interact with this workbook. This whole workbook is interactive, and you can interact by choosing the drop downs. So when I switch to me, you will see this button go green. And I'll go next. And this is all written in the instructions. The first step in the exercise is, and imagine this is for 8, 9, 10-year-old kids who may or may not have any background to data. So the first thing that they learn about is that data could be of many types. Data can be images, and then the images get highlighted. And there's a little bit of text here on how an image can be data. The second drop down is data can be text. And when I click on it, the text get highlighted. And then there's a little bit of detail on how text could be a data. And finally, they understand that numbers can be data. And this is probably the most common understanding that all of us have, that numbers are data. And there's a little bit of context here. And finally, they understand that data can be grouped. So pictures can be together, words can be together, and numbers can be together. And once they do this button on the bottom right turns green. One thing you'll notice is that as they answer questions through the experience, they are getting closer and closer to their space data badge or the certificate that they get towards the end of this activity. When I press next, it takes me to the next page where now they have to show us their understanding. Remember, they learned about how data can be images, data can be words, and data can be text. Now they have to show us their understanding. Please notice that we don't call it a test. We don't want kids to be scared or disengaged that we are taking a test. We call it showing their understanding. So when I drop down and say, oh, this is a text, it tells me this is the correct answer. And the first question in my journey to my space data badge at the bottom right turns green. This looks like a number. So I'm going to choose a number. This looks like a text. I'm going to use a text, and you can see I'm making progress on my bar. This is an image. So I'm going to choose an image. This is a number. So I've answered 5 questions. As soon as I answer the 6th question, this will turn green, and my next button will turn green. And if I answer wrong, because there are only 3 right answers, let's say this is an image, and I answered this as text, what it tells me is to try again. And when I click image, it tells me this is correct. The message appears, congratulations, you've finished the first stage, keep going. And I go to the next stage. So the first stage was for students to understand that data can be of 3 types. In the next stage, they learn about how data can be organized. So data can be organized in columns like this, like images, text, and numbers. Data can be organized in rows. And data is best when it's organized in tables, because it makes so much easier to interpret data. Once I do that, we go to the next stage. And in this stage, they learn about how do you sort data in an ascending or descending order, and then answer these 3 questions to go to the next stage. And then the final stage is that they learn about, so imagine their journey so far. So far, they have learned what is data, how data can be organized in a table. And in the 3rd stage, they learn that data is best when it's organized as a chart, and because it's a visual. And the moment you put a picture to the data, it's much more meaningful. And in this one, they learn about parts of a chart. So what is a plot area? What is chart title, and how a chart title is important, and it tells the story of a chart. And what is an axis title? What is X and Y axis? And also notice how these colors are coordinated with the table here, because we want students to notice that this table is connected to this chart. And when I sort this here, my chart also gets sorted. And so they're able to see that connection between their table and a chart. And finally, they answer a few questions here. One of the things you'll notice here is that this is real NASA data. So we have arranged rockets by height. Because it's for younger kids, we've also used a giraffe for context. So for younger kids, it's very hard to understand how high is 70 meters or 100 meters or 100 feet. But when they see that, oh my God, this rocket is so tall and this giraffe looks so tiny, how tall this rocket must be. Similarly, when they talk about rocket weight or rocket mass, they have compared it to a blue whale so that they're able to compare and contrast to see how big and heavy these rockets are. Right now, this certificate is hidden, but once they have answered all these questions at the bottom, they will see this certificate pop up. They can put their name in here and take a PDF or a screenshot and save that certificate. We also have a lesson plan for teachers who want to do this in the classroom. These are the learning standards it aligns to. And we also have a student journal that students can answer, print as a PDF, and then also save it and send to each other. All right, so that's sort of the learning arc for this lesson. Similarly, there is a second experience, so reduction to data visualization. There are 3 ways to engage. As I said earlier, take the lesson plans and resources and do this in your classroom, attend the free virtual data camps and learn how to do this and earn a certificate, or just watch these videos with NASA and see how NASA astronauts use this data and in everyday lives and how they plan the missions to space. The final program that I wanted to share with you is called FarmBeats for Students. It's a new program. We are still developing it, and we are very conscious about developing it in a way that and the goal for students is to teach artificial intelligence called representation and reasoning. The third big idea is called learning, and the fourth big idea is called natural interaction. You know, a good example to bring this whole framework to life is, think of how a self-driving car is perceiving the world, or using the big idea 1. So there are sensors in the self-driving car, and it's perceiving the world to know what's in front of it, what's on the side, and they're using sensors to sense the environment. That's the big idea 1. The self-driving car also starts and stops based on the sensors and the reading in the sensors, and that's the big idea 2, which is representation and reasoning. The third big idea is learning. What this means is that this self-driving car also learns your preferences as you go. So it knows what kind of music you like, what is the average temperature of the car you like, how fast you like to go, and it's learning every time you use that car. And based on data, it's learning. The fourth, natural interaction. In a self-driving car, you don't need to input any address or type any address. You can actually say it, like you interact with Alexa or Cortana or Siri. You can actually say where you're going and naturally interact with your car. And that's the big idea 4. And finally, the big idea 5 is societal impact, which is we have to be very careful while designing the self-driving car to make sure that it's stopping for every human, no matter what the color of the human being is. It's stopping for every human, no matter what the age, height of the human being is, or no matter what the living being is in front of them. So what is the societal or ethical impact of that car? So these are the 5 big ideas that this whole offering is sort of aligned to. We have also partnered with the FFA. FFA is a US-based organization. The full form of the FFA is Future Farm, and FFA is an organization with 700,000 students and 80,000 chapters across the US. So every public school almost in the US has this FFA chapter that teaches agriculture science. So this whole offering is aligned to not just the AI standards, but also to the agriculture standards. And the goal is to use agriculture and food production to bring AI, machine learning, and data science in the classroom. I'm going to play a quick video and then share with you what these resources are.
Today's farms are beginning to look a lot more like smart cities. Digital signals connect people to each other, to the cloud, and to data. Growers are using multiple sensors to collect a more complete view of their crops. Their insights drive decisions like turning on irrigation systems, indicating where fertilizer should be applied, and predicting crop yields based on weather patterns. By applying computer vision and artificial intelligence, growers are seeing their crops in new ways, which helps them with crop monitoring, discovering inefficiencies, and unlocking new insights to improve food production. The Farm Beats for Students program brings these modern tools into the hands of today's learners. The Affordable Hardware Kit and curriculum is designed to give students hands-on experiences in applying digital techniques to food production. Using an array of sensors that measure soil moisture, light, humidity, and temperature, students can stream, visualize, and analyze data in Excel. Additionally, working with curated data collections provides them with first-hand experience using the power that big data can bring to gaining insights into food production. Students can also build, train, and apply custom deep learning models to help track and inform plant health. Using the LOG application, students experience how computer vision is changing how we literally see data. Farm Beats for Students is designed to introduce every learner to the concepts of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. By focusing on growing food, students can begin to easily see the connections between using modern tools and the jobs to be done. Farm Beats for Students is designed to provide access and understanding to the data-driven agricultural techniques that are rapidly changing the way the land is being worked and the way the land will work for us in the future.
Vision classification and teaching AI models. We also have curriculum that is designed by teachers for teachers. And we have a hardware kit, which is a Raspberry Pi based kit. It has soil moisture sensors, soil temperature sensors, light sensors, and humidity and temperature sensors to be able to get real-time data in Excel. This has a whole collection of educator-written by teachers for teachers, classroom-ready resources. There are guides, there are workbooks, there are big data workbooks, there are slides that bring the artificial intelligence concepts to life, and there are step-by-step instructions on how to build this or how to activate these sensors and how to use the Raspberry Pi. So it's an end-to-end offering. And with that, this is the end of the presentation. As I had promised, I have a slide with key takeaways for all 3 parts of the program. I presented to you today the Hacking STEM program, the Day of Data program, and the Farm Beats for Students program. If you want to take a screenshot of this. We'll also make this PDF available to you post this session. And I would love to answer any questions that you might have.
All right. So another question from a participant: is NGSS the only standard it aligns to? Is it possible to use it in accordance to Common Core as well?
So wherever applicable, we are aligned to 3 standards: the NGSS standards, or Next Generation Science Standards, ISTE standards, which are the International Science and Technology Standards, and also the Common Core standards. So you will see that standards alignment wherever applicable. So all 3 standards.
All right. We also have one question. Can Microsoft Indonesia provide support to educators in Indonesia regarding the programs? Again, there is also a related question. Can Microsoft in Malaysia can also provide assistance to teachers?
So my colleagues in Microsoft and Indonesia, and actually around the world, are there to help you guys and support you in whatever way possible. I would recommend you reaching out to them, or Melvin, feel free to share my email ID and reach out to me, and I'll be happy to connect you with them.
All right. Thank you very much. I think a lot of teachers from the other Southeast Asian countries are excited to work with Microsoft on how they can leverage the experience, the STEM experience of their students in their own context. All right. So again, if you have any questions to our speaker, Mr. Ankur Anand of Microsoft US, feel free to post it here. I can see a lot of likes from our participants, Sir Ankur. I think they truly loved and enjoyed your presentation. Same as I truly enjoyed it. I learned new things. new information from the last summit that we had in Cebu. So I think this is also, we have more than 700 participants in the room right now, and sending all the likes here for appreciating your presentation this afternoon.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I miss being in Cebu and Philippines. I wish I could be there with you in person. But the irony of the pandemic is that while it has made things difficult for us, what we are realizing at Microsoft is that in an ironical and strange way, it has also increased our reach in many ways. Because maybe all of you could not have come to Cebu if we had organized this in person. So I'm trying to look at the silver lining and the positive side, and really excited to meet you all. Please remember that STEM is a mindset, and don't be constrained by lack of resources. Don't be constrained by where you are, whether the internet is there or not. There are ways and means to bring the STEM education to your kids, no matter where you are. Have a hacking STEM mindset, and don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need any help. We'll be cheering for you and rooting for you wherever you are.